If there is a chance to leave, Mr. President, if other countries are accepting refugees based on this forgotten war, I will go. These are not my words, but the words of the accused in this case. 58-year-old ex-policeman, self-proclaimed pastor, car salesman, Mauritz Rheeder, who is currently accused of beating and killing his partner, 51-year-old Carri-Ann now. Now, I must say that Mauritz is innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. So you'll remember a few weeks ago, I published a story about an assault that happened in Mthatha in a dealership, and it was a GBV assault. So what happened that day is that Mauritz was working at the dealership and Carri-Ann came to come and visit him. And like I said, apparently it's free for all in this country now that women just don't get beaten in their homes. They get beaten at the workplace as well, because she was assaulted. And she was assaulted by Mauritz, according to the police. But Mauritz wanted to control the narrative. So he told the police, being an ex-detective, that she was assaulted by thugs that were hanging outside the dealership. Yeah. And I don't know how much of a good detective he was, because he can't seem to keep his story straight, because on a very public Facebook post, which is still on his page right now, he said that he came home and he found that his home was violated. I mean, he has a flair for the dramatic. It takes one to know one, right? But he couldn't help himself, because he had to supply details. He had to talk about the blood on the wall. He had to talk about how she was unresponsive, curled up in a duvet, and he thought that she was dead, and he heroically rushed her to hospital. But yeah, I put it to you that the police think that it's Mauritz that caused those injuries to her. And the case gets stranger because she went to hospital, and I think the police were investigating, and I think they realized pretty quickly that something was up, because you know what? According to Mauritz himself in his very long refugee post, he said that the surveillance footage didn't pick up anything. Yeah. These thugs had the powers of invisibility. They were wearing their invisibility cloaks when they came into the house. And this is a very similar thing to Rob Evans with the Vanessa van Rensburg murder. And it's, you know, the perpetrator is clearly the person who is in the house. But then they want to come and blame criminals and random thugs. I mean, yes, South Africa does have a crime problem, but we also have a GBV problem. And according to the stats, women should be scared most of all of the person who they share their bed with, and not a random criminal. Now, things got more dramatic because he went and he visited her in hospital. And she was supposed to be in a safe space. And I understand that it's difficult if you've been a victim of GBV to say something. There's a big stigma associated with it. Like, why didn't you leave? Is the biggest one. And on average, it takes women 7-8 times to leave their abuser, and they had only been dating for 2 months. And he came to come visit her in hospital, and he gave her a snack. And that snack, it had extra seasoning in it. And it wasn't aromat. No. It was something else. Because soon afterwards, her condition rapidly deteriorated, and she died in hospital. Because you know what? Mauritz knew that he needed to cover his tracks. He couldn't have her speaking. He wanted to go and be a refugee. And he decided that, you know, beating her up wasn't enough. He was going to kill her as well. Now, toxicology, I don't think it was even taken, because the blunt force trauma that she endured to her head, to her body. I mean, imagine the force someone has to punch or kick you with for you to spray blood on the walls, if we go by Mauritz's own words. then that was the cause of death according to the pathologist, and I don't know if toxicology was taken, so we might never know if he came and finished her off, came and finished what he started. Now this man, Mauritz Rheeder, is trying to get bail. Yeah, he's trying to get bail after what he's accused of doing and blaming it on other people. He can't just take accountability and say, you know what, it was me. No. He wants to put Rihanna's poor family through a trial. And this is also a common theme that I see in these videos. Now, guys, let's just take a moment to remember Rihanna now and all other victims of GBV. And let's just, come together and say no bail. No bail. No bail, Mr. Pastor Mauritz. No bail for you. You got to stick in jail until you learn to face the music.